Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be covering the legendary updates coming to My Singing Monsters in 2026. And if you're just too excited for one specific update, check the chapters down below to see what I'm going to be discussing in today's video. With that out of the way, let's go ahead and get on into the content. Let's start off with something that's got me really amped up and talk about the last epic Wubbox, which will be coming to Wublin Island. Of course, we need 20 epic Wublins to arrive. First, the Wublins have been arriving in roughly 2-month intervals, and we're 9 Wublins in, meaning if this pattern continues, we can expect the last epic Wublin to be arriving in October! Oh, 2027. Well, I hope they speed this process up a little. But anyways, Big Blue Bubble likes to be sneaky and release epic Wubboxes alongside the last epic on the island. Firehavens came just 2 weeks after Epic Flugel, the last Firehaven epic, and Ethereal Islands came out admittedly 2 months after Epic Fungprey, but it was still pretty close. With that being said, it would not surprise me to receive Epic Wubbox alongside our last Epic Wublin in October of 2027, but I could see them holding it till Festival of EA in December of that same year. Either way, this is shaping up to be the last of the Epic Wubbi, and it is going to bring the heat. Bring the electricity! As for where I think it's gonna play, I can't decide if I think it'll play the whole song or just be the slam dunk finale, but I could see it happening in the Scream reverse to help with the bass and then playing throughout the remainder of the song. As many of you know, I've wanted Epic Wubbi in the game ever since the first Map Hero epic was released, so to see the class finally wrapping up is pretty bittersweet, but there is no doubt in my mind that this is going to be the most impactful, most fun, and most exciting Epic Wubbox of the entire game. Now, let's get on to the next update. Moving on to Paironormal Carnival. First off, I will say that I have not been keeping up with this island very well. I was a bit unenthused by the first wave. I'm definitely not upset that I still haven't bred a single Paranormal. But after much re-listening, the second wave has grown on me, and I am now excited to see where the song goes. The song is really short too, so we will undoubtedly be getting new verses. My bet with Wave 3. Speaking of waves, let's go ahead and talk about release timeline. Wave 1 and Wave 2 released 2 months apart, though it is noteworthy that the minor version of the song was released in between these two. So Wave 3 will likely come in February of 2026, featuring a new major Paranormal in its respective minor form. As this commenter suggested on my last video, if we assume that it's going to be following the release schedule of the Ethereal Workshop, we can be expecting to see 1 new monster every 2 months or so. With us needing 3 more doubles, 3 more triples, and the quad, the island would be complete in April of 2028. Yeah, they better speed up these releases more than just one at a time. Jumping on over to Dawn of Fire for a little bit, we still need to bring up the Quint. I still think the Quint is going to happen, guys, and this would not be the first time that Big Blue Bubble has said they're not going to do something and then does it anyways. Yeah, I'm looking at you, Oogity. Anyways, even in the event where they stick to their guns claiming that the Wubbox is the Quint monster, that at least means we should be able to look forward to seeing the Wubbox reaching the continent. Man, this song, it's never going to end. Wubbox can have so many tracks, and it has the capability to add some electric vibes. Electric. See what I did there? Now guys, let's go ahead and talk about Wanderer Island. The first wave came in September of 2025, and since then we've had 2 waves, both happening during a seasonal event and adding their relevant seasonal monster. We got Punkleton with Spooktical and Yule with Festival of EA. With the mythicals Anglo, and Trouble still coming, along with the seasonal Smoochel, Blabbit, and Hula, I will now tell you when each monster will arrive at Wanderer Island throughout 2026. That's right, this is not a prediction, I'm telling you. So get out your notepads, ladies and gentlemen, because this is the release schedule. First will come Smoochel during Season of Love in February of 2026, followed by Blabbit during Extravaganza in March or April, finishing off with Hula during Summer Song in July. As for the remaining mythicals, the pattern is a little bit harder to guess because we don't actually have a pattern to base our guesses on. However, I think I have an idea. I think we will continue the 1 monster a month pattern, meaning 1 will arrive in March, 1 in May, and 1 in June. Based on the fact that we missed November for a new monster, I do think one of these months could be skipped and saved for Anniversary Month, but I'm gonna say that's not the case. If we're looking at those 3 mythicals, they were added to the continent in the following order: Cherebel, then Anglo. I think this was done to avoid releasing in June right before Summer Song and releasing Anglo alongside Extravaganza. So my predictions are as follows: Smoochel in February, in March, Blabbit in April, Cherebel in May, in June, and Hula in July. I'm just really hoping these monsters add some pizzazz to the song because this island has so much potential. In addition, please, add more space to the Outer Islands, Big Blue Bubble. Look at my islands, I don't even have room. With 7 versions of each monster, additional island space would be much, much appreciated. On to the Titan Soul. These things are absolutely incredible, and I am stoked to see the next one drop. Titan Souls have been releasing in island order, giving us Light Island, then Psychic Island. So Fairy Island is next. But when? The first 2 Titan Souls released 7 months apart, one in October of 24 and one in May of 25. However, I don't blame them for wanting to space out these amazing monsters, so I could totally see Fairy Island's Titan Soul dropping sometime later in 2026. My guess would be potentially alongside the Season of Love in February or Extravaganza in April, maybe even in between them in March to give it more spotlight. Either way, I'm sure it's gonna drop at least before May. And now, for a personal theory of mine, and one that I'm just incredibly excited to talk about with you guys, is the expansion of Magical Nexus. Yep, you heard me right, but Office Bill, you say. How could we change up a song that's really good and hasn't been touched in nearly 2 years? Well, I'm glad you asked. Allow me to explain. Magical Nexus is the culmination of all magical monsters, and yet it only contains the impure magical monsters.
Came across a rare Rourke amongst my travels in the Magical Sanctum. I overheard the rare reciting lines from what sounded like a play.
When shall these elements meet again, with bone and light, or in vain? When the Sanctum song is done, when the music's power has won, that will be ere the time for fun. Where the place within the pocket, safe within its silent socket, I come, Grey Skulkin. Sporadic calls, a yawn. Rare is foul and foul is rare. Check out this weird sister's hair.
According to the My Singing Monsters wiki, Magical Nexus is in the Beyond, making it unable to interact with the Pocket Dimension, which is the home of the Magical Sanctum. But again, Big Blue Bubble was absolutely not a stranger to doing new things. For example, the Ethereal Workshop monsters were always trapped within the mind of the Ethereal Island creator. However, they've recently been able to break out and explore the Pocket Dimension. In the same way, I could totally see Big Blue Bubble doing a bit of a retcon here and allowing the Magical Nexus monsters to interact with those of Magical Sanctum. Just imagine Magical Nexus, but with all of the Magical Sanctum monsters. If it's a safe haven for all magical monsters, why are the pure magicals not on the island? It just doesn't make any sense. So, I'm calling it right here. This is my second boldest prediction of the video. Stick around till the end to figure out what my most bold prediction is. But I think Magical Sanctum monsters are coming to Magical Nexus.
You can see me in the sky and yet you don't know how to fly, and I don't want to be.
I think if I had to guess that Mimic will be varied in its appearances and will do wherever it needs to do on the various places that it appears.
It's such a cool.
That now Mimic is officially in My Singing Monsters. Who knows where else it may appear in the future?
Ooh.
Okay.
I'm a monster.
What? No, you're not.
Yes, I am.
You don't even look like a monster.
Of course I do, dude. I've got the, you know, the thing.
Do you even sing?
Yeah.
What? How'd you get back here?
Please let me sing.
No!
Now it's time to discuss a personal favorite of mine, the Ethereal Islets, and furthermore, Ethereal Gold Island. The next islet to release will be the Crystal Islet, as the islets have released in the order of their corresponding MIMIIIIIIICs found on page 9 of the guide in the Dish Harmonizer. With that out of the way, we don't have a super clear release date prediction, because the time between Plasma and Mech islets was 4 months, while the time between Mech and Shadow was 6 months. But if you'll recall, the My Singing Monsters YouTube channel began posting shorts asking fans why they weren't wondering where Shadow Islet was.
Hey, Charlie, do you feel like we're forgetting something?
No. Why?
Yeah, no, you're right. I just have this odd feeling, you know, like this looming shadow is just being cast over us.
Because of this, I do believe Shadow Islet was meant to release after 4 months, and it was either delayed or held back to better fit the update schedule. So we'll use 5 months as the average between the two. With that info, my prediction is that we'll see Crystal Islet in either May or June of 2026, which is honestly kind of fitting considering the fact that there isn't a seasonal event in those 2 months. And they will likely need an update to hold fans over until SummerSong in July. And now we get to discuss Crystal Islet's primordial monster. We only have 2 statues left, so let's take a look at them. I was going to go super in-depth explaining my guess, but I don't think it will be too hard to explain. My guess is on tune for being the Crystal Islet Primordial, as it appears to be a visibly good match, but also is referred to as kindly, which seems to be fitting of the water and crystal elements. Meanwhile, the fearsome Droa seems to have more akin to the hard-hitting, rocky atmosphere of the Earth Island along with the poison element. I will say, previous primordials don't necessarily follow this trend, as the octopus-looking Bogle is associated with Mech Islet, while the crafty primordial has nothing to do with Mention's Island. I still stand by my predictions, though I could easily see it going the other way. As for the islet itself, I don't have a super clear idea of what we'll be getting, but each islet so far has been unique and has taken inspiration from different musical stylings and cultures, so this just has me incredibly excited to see where poison and crystal islets will take us next. I would also like to mention Ethereal Gold Island, which likely won't release until 2027, but I still think it's a great idea. All the ethereal monsters, and hey, why not add the primordials in too? All on one island. I mean, come on! Listen to this snippet from Ethereal Lunchtime made by a fan. Now, try to tell me you wouldn't love to see this in game. Yeah, that's what I thought. And with that, guys, we have reached the final topic of today's video, and I've saved the best for last, the expansion of the Legendary class. So to start, I do want to focus on Bbli, because I don't think we've seen the end of this guy yet. Looking at Sugarbush for evidence, we can assume that Bbli will be making his way to Gold Island. But when? We can't base our prediction on Sugarbush since it was already available on Gold Island with its initial release. So, honestly, I'm a little bit unsure on this one. However, we can predict that Bbli will be getting its own island just like Sugarbush did. Sugarbush Island was released in December of 2013, just 5 months after Sugarbush was added. With that in mind, my guess would be that we'll be getting Bbli Island relatively soon, either late April or early May. With the addition of Bbli to Cold Island, it was only natural. Natural to wonder if Air, Water, and Earth Islands would also be getting their own legendary monster. This was actually seemingly confirmed by the monster handlers in this clip from their Bbli behind the scenes video.
2025 was definitely a year to remember, and no doubt a legendary one. But something tells me that 2026 is going to be even more so. Bah. Happy monstering!
And many people, including myself, think that CG5 is going to be the next legendary monster. Don't click off yet, don't click off yet. Allow me to explain this one too. To start, it is important to notice that CG5 has seemingly been confirming this idea himself. Now, this wouldn't be the first time CG5 has teased something that wasn't true. But usually when he does this kind of thing, he always confirms that he's at least joking. But we've received no such confirmation so far. He's been very involved with MSM in the past for the Wubbox song and the Ethereal Workshop remix. The final point is that Big Blue Bubble is appearing at one of his Too Many Songs tours, just like they did for Baby No Money when Bbli was being added. So CG5 is basically confirmed, and I am stoked. Oh, I'm really stoked, guys. I've been a fan of CG5 for many, many years, and I cannot wait to see what he can do inside of My Singing Monsters. But with that being said, which island is he coming to? My temptation would be to say Air Island because of how it seems like he should be next in line. But considering he met with Big Blue Bubble even before Baby No Money did, I think they could be saving him. If you recall, there is a very specific way artists are chosen for each island. Sugarbush was the first artist and the original dedication to the game, hence he goes on the original island, Plant Island. When talking about Bbli, Big Blue Bubble had this to say.
Before he came to the studio for Scallyrags, we had also worked on a pitch for Baby No Money to join and elevate an island with the same kind of internet status as him. The infamous Cold Island.
It made a lot of sense for us to have belonged on Cold Island because Cold Island, the song itself, went super viral many years ago, and so the kind of artist that Baby No Money is, we thought it made sense to do.
So what would they have to say about CG5? CG5 has always been a guy to me who isn't afraid to take chances. He hops on the most recent trends, even if people say he kills them. His musical stylings are bold and adventurous, perhaps to a fault. and he's constantly making hard-hitting remixes and covers. Typically, it feels like his musical style is very aggressive or hard-hitting or just fun all around. And his voice is very noticeable, unlike any singer I've ever heard. There is only one island in this game that has aggressive yet fun vibes. One island that features a monster constantly remixing songs and hopping in on trends with the monster world. And one island that could easily see a unique voice like CG5 adding so much to. Ladies and gentlemen, I believe CG5 will be coming to Earth Island. Need more proof? Let's keep talking. This is a little conspiratorial, but it is an additional clue I wanted to bring up. If you look at CG5's Wubbox song, only one of the natural islands isn't represented, Earth Island. Fans noticed, and it got to the point where CG5 himself pointed out the missing link. However, if CG5 himself was the Earth Island Legendary, then one could argue this song does in fact feature every island. And personally, I think CG5 could fit very, very well on Earth Island. I also just really love CG5, and I really love Earth Island, so, you know, not biased at all. And just imagine with CG5's unique musical stylings, how incredible a CG5 island would sound. Yeah, I agree with you. It would be wrong of me, however, not to show CG5's responses to our predictions. He said he wouldn't be on Earth Island, and when placed on Water Island, he said none of these actually. Now, it's unclear if he meant none of those islands would be his, or if none of the predictions in that post were correct, but some fans reason that this must mean he is the Air Island Legendary, which could also make sense. But the Air Island song is already filled with lyrics, so I'd be hesitant to put a vocalist like CG5 on there with his vocal capabilities. To be clear, I do believe the next Legendary to release will be Air Islands during the Season of Love event, just like with the Blizzard coming during his respective seasonal event, but I do not think he will be the CG5 Legendary. That is my boldest prediction for the year. So I'll stick to my, albeit slim, chance that CG5 is going to be the Earth Island Legendary. And we'll just chop these messages up to him trolling the fans, which, again, is something he also likes to do. As an additional side note, Sugarbush does have Vivine, so I'm intrigued to see if these future Legendary Islands will have a seasonal monster or not. I'm sure Big Blue Bubble has many tricks up their sleeves still, such as this monster that they've been teasing for a while now. I have taken a bit of a break from the game the past couple months, but coming back to see these islands, like Shadow Islet and Blizzard, it's just got me reinvested in the game all over again. I am so happy to see the game thriving, and I am unbelievably excited to see what 2026 has in store for us. But with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to leave a like and subscribe so you don't miss out on any future My Singing Monsters content. With that being said, I hope you all have an amazing day, and may the force be with you always.
And Big Blue Bubble, if you're listening to this, please, Earth Island Rare Wubbox, track 2.
Please, I would be beyond excited. Okay, see you guys later.